I don't even remember when I sent this in. I think it was like sometime last year.
Yeah,
I,
it's probably. All right. I
I think at
said,
that point in time,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
sorry. I think at the point in time, I was also I had a lot more time for just straight competitive Overwatch, so that was probably why I was looking for coaching.
Yeah, yeah,
Now that I'm actually settling into my career, I don't exactly have that type of time, but I still like climbing in games I'm competitive in. So
yeah. Okay, fair,
where I'm at,
fair enough. How long have you been playing Overwatch?
I've played since the original Overwatch. I can't say at what point that I started. No, it was just before World Q.
Okay, sounds good. I'm thrilled. Your freaking hero pool is cracking me up. Doomfist, Lucio, Venture. At least at the time, the movement is real. you know, you
I
had all the
I
fun
love
jumping, zooming characters, which is pretty funny. But yeah,
I love all those characters. Today, what I got for you is actually on my gameplay. Just it's what I'm playing for now. While my schedule is going to be all sorts of non-existent.
yeah. Makes sense. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I would like to have someone other than myself review my play, see where I can improve. I'm looking to make it to around plat. Is that still the case? Obviously, maybe you're. I don't know what your Overwatch gameplay, how often you're playing right now, looks like right now, but is that still an approximate goal?
To be fair, today is the first time I played in about like a month and a half.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Is that going to be the plan moving forward? Like, what are your expectations for that?
Right now, my I lowered from plat to gold now because I just don't have the time.
Yeah. Fair enough. Okay. Sounds good. Um, I want to have fun ranking up and improving, not looking for anything crazy. Just if you get there, cool. You feel like your mechanics feel like a weak. Again, obviously, if this stuff has changed since you filled out the form, but it felt like mechanics was initially a weakness of yours. Do you still like that? Feel like that's the case?
That always is a weakness of mine.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Um, Certain areas on maps are a bit odd for you to traverse around. Still the case?
Yes.
Okay, sounds good. And I think that's mostly all I'm interested from your form. So you're kind of in a unique scenario where like you're playing a little bit of all the roles, right? What do you want to look at today?
Like I said, I got two Ana games for you. I literally recorded them just
Oh,
before we got on.
yeah, shoot. Okay, yeah. So big pivot. Now, why Ana? What changed from the crack addict, Doomfist, Lucio, Venture, Hero Pool to Ana? I mean, Ana's great. I love Ana, but
Actually, Ana's in one of my top five most played characters.
okay, and it has always been so.
Yes, like Ana, I've been playing since Overwatch originally.
Yeah, yeah,
Overwatch 2, I think like my most played character right now is either Doom or Ana.
sure, sure. Okay, sounds good. Sounds good.
The only reason
And
I switched
yeah, no, go
back to
ahead.
Ana is like I said, I don't really have the time to try to keep up that mechanical output that the other characters do have that I like to play.
Yeah.
Like,
It makes sense.
will I play them in quick play and whatnot? Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
just I got to try to climb with them right now.
Okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay. So Ana for now feels more reasonable for kind of what your gameplay with the game or how much your time you're spending with the game looks like right now, correct?
Yep.
And just kind of playing it casually. We'll see what we can get with it. Seems good. Honestly, keeping our expectations low. Let's just have some fun with it. Let's see what there's some things that may stand out for when you do play. I don't really have any other questions on the forum. Do you have any other questions for me?
Nope.
Okay. If you got a replay code, we can jump in.
I got two of them for you today.
Okay.
First one is a Hollywood. I'll send it in chat. Literal first game back.
Okay. So there's going to be a lot of rust, I'm sure, so we won't sweat it too much. Can you see the Discord stream okay?
Let me get to it. Yep, it looks like it's running and perfectly
I
fine.
think you're missing a letter here on the replay code. Double check it for me if you can.
Let's see. Up, yep. I'm missing an R before the G. My bad.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Okay, let's do this here. Okay, let's take a look here. So this is just usually we have a long conversation about why you chose this code and what you're looking to get out of the code, but this is just the game that you played. So we'll roll with that. We'll roll with that. Okay. The good news is that this is going to be a definite W because you are playing with the legend Mr. Poopbutt. So obviously this is a guaranteed W. Kind of goes without saying. Do you have any questions about Anna, just in general, before we get going here?
I think Anna's like one of the characters I have like the best fundamental understanding of what I want to do with her.
Sure. And what is that?
Like I want to keep my range, use my cooldowns when the opportunity presents itself. If there's a dive character, hold my sleep. Otherwise, use my nade to create as much pressure as possible, whether it
Okay.
is to keep my tank or
Yeah.
anti
Yeah.
some.
Okay. Yeah, you're reading the lines off. Yeah, absolutely. You've got a good skin equipped as well, which is obviously great as well. The question is just like, do you feel that there's any of those particular points, besides the mechanics, which you've already mentioned earlier, that don't really check out for you? That maybe but I don't do as well as I think I ought to.
There are very a lot. There's quite a few times I think, like especially in this game, where I just end up holding my cooldowns, whether intentional or not, is a different story.
Sure, maybe just slips your mind kind of a moment. Okay. Anything else?
There are times where I just end up in a very awkward spot where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to be here. Let me get out.
Yeah. Okay. Define awkward. I mean, I could probably guess, but
I think you'll actually find one like either like 20 or 30 seconds in where I kind of just end up in the middle of everyone by accident. I'm like, oh no, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
get out.
Yeah. Okay. Makes total sense for me. All right. Let's take a look here. So, ironically, you're silver, correct?
Currently, yes.
So, ironically, here, despite you being silver, just because you don't play the game a lot, I from how you've described your understanding of Honest, decent, right? So I don't have to sit here and explain the fundamentals too much for you. Now, maybe I will at a point in time, but it sounds like you have the right idea. The question is going to be where's the gap of understanding and then execution, and then we can highlight those things. Excuse me, for being practiced when you do play the game, if that makes sense, right?
Yep.
So, for example, like right now, the initial positioning, because of the sightline that you have, the cover that you have is really good. Now, I got to ask you, are you on PC? Okay. I would love to know what your DPI on your mouse and your sensitivity is in game. Do you know off the top of your head?
My mouse DPI, I have no clue, but my
Okay.
sensitivity is relatively low, actually.
Okay. What is the sense? Do you know? Like the number here? I got 2 on mine.
I think I'm on 20 on each.
20?
Yeah.
Okay, but not like full on. Okay. I am going to be honest with you. Okay, so first off, how much space of a mouse pad do you have at home? Approximately like inches, centimeters, like hand width, whatever?
I don't got a lot.
You don't have a lot. Okay. When you let me kind of describe where I'm at with my mouse, which is probably going to be the opposite extreme of where you're at. Let me show you. So I have a mouse pad space, I don't know, 20 by 20, right? Pretty big. Okay. When I put my mouse all the way on the left right here, can you see this? And I try to do a 360.
Yeah.
So I'm just moving it all the way to the right. I have run out of mouse pad space before I can do a full 360. Okay. I am looking at your game. Now that's kind of an extreme, but that's somewhere you would want to be somewhere remotely similar to that in terms of your sensitivity for your mouse pad. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, go ahead.
That actually, I can get a full 360 on one swipe across my mouse pad.
Okay. I am wondering if you can get a lot more than that, because I am looking at, there's a specific moment here. There's a couple of little moments here, but I look at this really quick here. And there is a lot of, right here specifically, this looks super jittery. Like really jittery. So I am very suspicious that your sensitivity is like off the charts, EDPI, like really high. I might be wrong, But what I want you to do when you get the opportunity to, maybe after the session, later today, whatever, is find out your mouse's DPI if you can, and change it to something that is going to be. So I'm going to give you kind of what I would love you to do. So 3K EDPI equals 3 to, I'll even say 9K. And EDPI is in-game sensitivity times DPI. For example, you have 20 cents. So if you have 800 DPI, it equals 16K EDPI, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that you're probably a little bit more limited for space. Is there you said it was pretty small mouse pad, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have more space on your desk? Or is that basically all the space that you have? It's fine if that's the case.
That's realistically all I'm going to get.
Then that's not a problem. I want you to find something to where you can barely do a 360 if you start all the way in the left and drag all the way to the right. If you're unable to get it low enough, that's fine. But let's not say barely. Let's get a comfortable 360 on it, but no more than that. Because this feels, even for a smaller mouse pad, almost twice what it should be in terms of sensitivity. And the reason why I'm so sharp on this is because it's going to help you a lot more with your mechanical consistency, because, one little minor mistake isn't going to be flipping the screen like an inch off, right? And you need, the more muscles that you can utilize arm-wise into your aim, the likely more healthy it is for your wrist. We don't know for sure, but that's probably our best guess. Does that make sense?
Yep, and I actually did just check it.
Okay.
I might have gotten 3 circles.
Yeah, see that's thank you for checking for me really quick. So that's where like you're going to cut your sensitivity to, like, I'm going to go ahead and guess 7. Something like that. 7 or 8.
My sensitivity was actually lower. It was actually at 15%.
Yeah. So wait, your in-game sensitivity was 15?
It was 15.
Okay, so then it's probably that. I would say that your DPI might be 1600, somewhere would be around there, which means that you're still operating at like over 20K eDPI, which is, for context, 7 times higher than mine. So what I would say is, if it's at 15, try like 6 or 7 and see how that goes, or maybe
7
even 8.
Makes it a lot more stable.
Yeah, you're going to feel sluggish for a while, but don't worry, we're not resetting your mechanical prowess from scratch, okay? You're going to adapt very fast. When you practice mechanics, you're actually practicing more eye tracking than arm tracking. It's like a connection of the two. And so, a professional player, if they change their sensitivity, they don't go back to being a bronze player mechanically, right? They adjust quickly, and you'll do the same. So what I would do is I would tweak around with the setting. It has to be, it has to be under 9. I'm making that rule, okay? It has to be under 9 or 8 sensitivity in game. From there, I'll let you experiment and find what feels most comfortable for you. Sound good?
That makes sense. Like, I'm messing with it right now. Yeah,
Sure.
I see what you mean. It'll feel a bit sluggish, but I'm not looking past everything right now.
Right. You'll notice as well, it's not even about short term, I'm over flicking or under flicking. Your body will adapt to anything. It's just generally consistency will be across the board, and general health, again, from what we understand, will probably be better as well. It's not, you might under flick just as much, or you might over flick just as much because you're trying to compensate. Don't worry about that. You'll be fine. But just practice at that for a while. And if you ever get the chance to expand your mouse pad a little bit more, then I would recommend cutting sensitivity down even further. But like I said, a good ballpark would be aim for around a 316, maybe a little bit more. And that's a good ballpark for most sensitivities. Okay. Any questions before we jump in here?
Nope.
Okay, let's roll. Now, all that being said, I'm not going to sweat as much about the mechanical stuff here because you are playing on an extreme sensitivity. That's a good nade.
I don't think I hit anyone with that one, though.
You did. You hit the Symmetra, I think.
I think I hit a turret, to be honest. I don't even think I hit the Symmetra.
Well, let's find out here.
I'm pretty sure I did.
No, you hit them. You hit Moira. You hit Moira. Yeah, it's okay. And again, it's like we're not as concerned about like the results. Was the intention there? Yeah, it was there. You know, it was placed well. It had a good splash. It's fine. It's all right. All right.
Where did Junkrat go?
Yeah, he just leaped right over your head. Yeah, he leaped right over your head. So this is where there's like a lot of downtime because you're waiting for your team to kind of regroup, but you're in a safe position here. Rather than kind of like playing like a little bit of like ADHD squirrel here, like hold the angle here and just start pumping damage into this Zarya, into this Moira, or the Symmetra. I trust you. Like, okay. you do occasionally de-scope, check your team's angle, check your team's health, but like right now, there's been a lot of downtime and not a lot of damage from you, and I think that that could have been better. Like, I like this position that you're in here. Like, right here, this is good. I can smell an anti-nade coming here. Right? Yeah, there it is. Now, I would have preferred an anti-nade on not the Zarya. Not because you shouldn't nade tanks necessarily, but because she's just going to cleanse it anyway. But, you know, it's still fine that you, like, got the pressure output there. That's fine. Just would have preferred the nade on something that is a little bit better there. Okay. Healing's good. Good try with the sleep dart, actually, if that was absolutely an opportunity there. Nade's a little bit late. So it's weird. I look at this and I'm like, you're going through the motions of trying to do the right things, which makes sense given how you described how to play Ana, because you described playing Ana correctly. The problem is that, you know, you miss the sleep, you miss the nade, you're a little slow with healing, you're a little slow with damage, and you miss a lot of shots. So it's like there's a lot of things here that I actually don't think that your approach to the game is wrong. You need, surprisingly, a little bit more practice and a little bit lower sensitivity to kind of make these things happen. So I'm sure that I will have some feedback for you. You can nade yourself here if you want to. Like right there, you needed to nade sooner, right, to get your HP up, but you almost hit the sleep dart. You did hit the shot. You kind of were strategic about the cover. Like you're going through the motions of a player that kind of knows what they're doing, but isn't very good at actually doing it, if that makes sense. So that's both. That's like that's as much a compliment as it is an insult. Trust me. Okay. If any questions come up, like I said, just let me know. Otherwise, we'll keep rolling.
No, your way of explaining things is very clear.
Okay, good. Glad to hear it. But like right here, there's just a couple of moments where like you're just chip healing a little bit, but like we need to get that nade out, right? That's a good nano. Nade there was fine. Now this is probably where you start to kind of lose the script a little bit for positioning, just a little bit, because as to prevent them from recontesting and causing a lot of chaos, you need to start thinking, okay, where's a good angle? Where's a good corner? I kind of like this adjustment here to kind of even just tuck this little corner here so that you have at least a little bit of cover. A little too close. Nice nade, though.
I think you just saw me just kind of misjudging my walk backwards.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Like I said, this is really like you are going through the motions of, you know, like a plat player, you know, like you're looking for nades, you're trying to hit the sleeps. Like right now, I know why you're here. You're going to hit a nade again, right? So let's see if you do it. The difference here is that you just weren't intentional about who you wanted to nade, so you kind of panicked. So let's look at this again a little bit slower.
Oh, at that point, I actually had a double nade.
Yeah,
so I was trying to just bounce it off my tank and hit the person behind them.
True. Got it. I understand that. I still think even with a bouncing nade, I would still try to be very deliberate with hitting the one person if it hits somebody else, because the bounce is like really inconsistent. Like for example here, like in theory it makes sense, but it goes just past the nade and it bounces backwards here, right behind you. I don't know if you see that arc here. It actually hits off her leg and splashes behind you. So that's just one of those moments where like just aim for the person and maybe it'll bounce and hit your tank, maybe it'll bounce and hit this guy. You get what I'm saying? Like just aim for the so like the intention is there, it's just the execution is a little bit off. You could go for a sleep dart here as well because there's nobody really diving you, you know, so you could just turn the corner and fish for a sleep. You've done that a few times. There it is. Nice. All right, let's see that nade. Again, like I'm pleased with like the intention with the nades. Like it's a little bit like chaotic for sure, but like you like for example, this is great. Right? I would never expect a silver Ana player to go for this, right? But you've got both cooldowns. You know that they're low, right? Let's do it.
Yeah,
Go
that's what I'm
Rambo.
about to do.
Yeah.
I'm
Yes. Nice. Like I'm literally going to have to, and I mean this with the utmost respect, I'm going to have to put a nausea warning in the title of this coaching session because of your sensitivity. I'm not even joking. I've never had to do that before. I'm literally going to have to put a nausea warning because it is so jittery, right? So like every time that you like, for example, do what you just did, which is like hit a couple of shots in a row in a Kiriko, I'm like impressed. I'm like, wow. Wow, that was impressive. Like, I don't think I could do that. Like, so like, you know, you're playing with like, you ever heard the term like, you know, running with ankle weights here? Like you're running with like ankle barbells. Like this is like crazy here. So, yeah, good job, I guess. Like, you know, like good for you. Like, yeah, there you go. Defensive nade, I see the intention there. You just didn't quite hit it. Nano is good, though. Your nanos have been really good because they've been, like, on people that are engaging, right? So, yeah, don't hesitate. Sleep is good as well. Here we go. Here we go, baby. I'm so ready for this. Oh, no. Cassie took it. This is okay. I don't mind this angle from you. So this is just where, like, don't forget the nade. Like, nade on this Zen Zarya, huge.
I'm about to do it, actually.
Yeah. But what I want you to do is be more aware of it and stop healing your tank even for half of a second to land it because it's such an immense burst in value that it's worth the stop healing your tank to do it, right? It's going to stop the damage that he's taking is kind of my point. You get what I'm saying? So
makes sense.
You're about to do it, and it's going to be really fat. But honestly, your queen could have died, and honestly, your Kiriko could have lived if you had naded earlier, right? Yeah, it's a good nade, but it's too late. Because it's like, oh, I got it off, but the problem is that, remember the nade, because it's so dangerous, is also what takes pressure off of your tank. So if you wait too long, then the tank just, it's too late, right? It's like chemo and stage 12 cancer. You know, it's just, at that point, it's too late at that point. So I appreciate what you're doing, and I think it's not because you're stupid or lazy. I think it's because as it becomes available mid-fight, you kind of forget about it, you know, because it is such a long cooldown.
Fortune, Brad, I tried.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens. Yeah, a lot of these missed shots are just due to your sensitivity. Like, there's just so much variance in what you're doing. Good nade. Really nice nade. You can't really help your queen if she peeks at Bastion like that, so. You could fish for a sleep dart there, though, I will say. Yeah, I say that and you go for it. And this is probably not great because your queen's dead, your Junkrat's dead, and you don't have anti-nade. If you had anti-nade here, this like little peek here with sleep dart and all that kind of stuff would totally work because this Bastion might just get murked. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you compare this to what you did here, the two major differences is number one, the status of your cooldowns, your nade specifically, and number two, the status of your teammates. They're dead.
They all just died right there.
They're dead, right? So then, you know, if you do this, they're like, hey, maybe I'll get a kill and I'll just reset. That's fine. You know, honestly, just reset with them. It's not a bad idea, but obviously, if you could have reset without dying, that would have been even better. Okay. Let's walk. Let's take some space. Ay. She dies. It's fine. And this is where... Yeah. He jumps over your head again. It's fine. This is where, again, like, I understand healing here, but it really might be okay to just pause the healing just to throw the son of a gun here, right? Like, it is such a huge spike in value. But you notice that you weren't intentional with who that was for. It was, oh, maybe it'll hit my queen and bounce the enemies. But you just missed both. You see what I'm saying? You need to be very specific, even with the bounce aid, about one person, and if it hits somebody else, congratulations, pat yourself in the back. But if it doesn't, okay, who cares? But it's got to hit somebody. Use that sleep. Yeah, I mean, you can't do anything about that. Okay, resetting there is also fine. Okay, let's get the nade. Turn the corner, nade nano. Turn the corner, nade nano. Like, again, you see how you're prioritizing a little bit of chip healing, a little bit of chip healing. No. You could, if you go here or peek here, we gotta go. We gotta go now. Good nano. Hit that nade. Yes. And there's the bounce. You want to see a really... Wait, no. I was gonna say the bounce. Never mind. I think that's the Junker Queen ult. Yeah, frick, that's
That
a
was
dark
so
green
much
ult.
more.
It's a dark green ult. But you know what? It hit the Bastion. It hit the Bastion. That's all that we need. So 1. I don't know if I don't think I hit it twice, but either way, good, Nate. Like that completely shuts down the Bastion, and honestly, he should die. Even if he doesn't die, yeah, but he's out of the fight, right? Like for a good 6-7 seconds.
Nope.
Nah, I think you win this. I think you win this. Okay, never mind. You don't win this. Wait, you do win this. Yeah, disastrous. Okay, yeah, I mean it's just the margin. Like we just needed a little bit more damage from you in that follow up. Just get some bloodlust here. So if we go back to like right at the moment I'm looking for, right? So you walk forward, you hit the anti-nade here. Don't walk into the Zarya. But let's get some shots here. You know, get some shots. Pop that Zenyatta a little bit more. Shoot that Zarya.
I tried. I just missed.
Yeah, you just missed.
I don't know.
And you know, that's kind of go back to my, my nausea warning. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to have to hand out vomit bags prior to the coaching session. So, like, and that's not for the gameplay, surprisingly. Yeah, so I am, I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm going to be honest with you. You have very, very sharp errors, but you also have very sharp strengths, which I'm not used to. Normally when I review silver, gold, plat, whatever, there's just a general mediocrity, right? That's not you. You definitely have kind of that gene. You understand kind of what you ought to be doing. Maybe that's from your time spent playing Doomfist and Venture, and you understand the proactivity, and it shows. It's good. It's the only reason you're winning any of these fights, right? Is like you're looking for nades, you're looking for angles, you're generally not sitting your cooldown too long. Again, you're not good at that, but you're much better than the average silver player, like much better than the average silver player at doing that. Your nanos have been all good. But then you also have very sharp weaknesses, right? You'll forget about your cooldowns for a long period of time. You miss more shots than even the average silver player because of your sensitivity. Positioning actually hasn't been bad either. Again, if I was coaching a diamond player, I'd say the positioning was awful. But compared to the average silver player, you have a general propensity for creating space, looking for angles, understanding the relative value of cover, and doing so without being completely passive either. You see what I'm saying? So nice job, but also terrible job. But that's good because it's going to mean your path towards improvement. When you do play Ana, it's going to be pretty simple. Fix the sensitivity and don't forget your cooldowns. That's basically it. No, we'll finish this VOD here, but do you have any questions?
Nope. It explains a lot.
Yeah. It's good stuff, though. Like, I want to highlight here, like, the good things are really, really good. Like, things I would not at all expect from a player of your caliber, and it really shows your understanding of the game, which is awesome. You don't have the capability of streaming gameplay through Discord, do you?
I don't know if your PC can handle it. It would look like Steam Deck would probably explode.
That's kind of what I expected. Okay. I just had to ask, but I'd love for, nausea warning 2.0, but okay. This initial positioning is fine. You got a good sightline, a good angle here, good vision for damage and healing. Okay, yeah. We'll keep going here. Ram is in there deep. Yeah, this is good. I love the fact that you damaged and didn't heal because your Cassidy was not critical at all. He was fine. So damage him or damage the Sombra, right? So if he'd been low, you would have needed to heal him, but he wasn't low, so you didn't need to heal him. So that was good.
I think this entire round.
What's up?
I think this entire round I was gonna play Paranoid because of that Sombra. I did not know where she was half the time.
Yeah. A lot of it's just audio cues, right? This is another one of those moments where, like, the lack of anti-nade is infuriating to me. I understand Sombra's a threat here, but if you have any information on her at all, I mean, you see this, right? Like, this is just, like, anti-nade heaven, right? Like, that Zenyatta is cooked, right? And sometimes, like, I see that, like, I think you just have to go for it. Especially if you have cover, sleep dart, and so on. I mean, it's not a bad defensive nade there, but even there, maybe there's an opportunity to go throw it at the choke instead. Or, actually, you know what? Let's not say throw it at the choke. Don't throw it at the choke. Throw it at the person. The person being Zarya, maybe even there, right? Go ahead.
Yeah. I think there was a point in time where I saw Zen. I was like, I'm gonna throw it, and then just in the back of my mind, I was like, maybe not.
Yeah. I understand. But if you have any information about Sombra, whether it's the kill feed in the top right or hearing her elsewhere, then, like, I think that's the key thing about how you use cooldowns versus dive characters is like you let them tell you how to use their cooldown. If that Sombra is invisible and you hear her puttering around in the background, then yeah, you probably should. It's okay to hold it. But if she tells you, no, I'm going for Cassidy right in front of your face, then don't save the nade.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And that doesn't just apply to Sombra. That applies to Genji, applies to Tracer, applies to Winston, applies to Diva, applies to anything. If they don't go for you or they're using cooldowns elsewhere, then you don't need to save the anti-nade. That's kind of the rule. And that's a really, it sounds like such a dumb, easy thing to do, but it's actually not easy to do, right? And it is something that is a very important skill for you. Like, let's say tomorrow you want to play to Grandmaster on Ana for whatever reason. Okay. Tracking enemy threats where they are and using cooldowns as a result, like that's an unbelievable importance skill that scales all the way up to the highest level. So, okay. Heal damage balance is pretty good in terms of who you're shooting. Seems pretty reasonable. Heal, and then bubbles expired, so then you go to look to do damage. That's good. Yeah, this is good. You're thinking Sombra. Okay, there it is. So like that's kind of it. Like that's all the Q that you need, because if you've ever played Sombra, if she translocates top, she's not going to be able to reach you for a while, right? So that if you see an opportunity to anti-nade here, you need to go for it. And like that hesitation, now should your Ramatra have died with Nemesis form, no, that's his fault. But also, it's your fault for the fact that look at what's on our screen, and I'm not sure that you're going to nade this. I hope that I'm wrong. Dang
No,
it.
I didn't.
Oh, no. Nade it. It's okay. At least nade the Sombra.
I was going to back off to start preparing for them to push in, and then just everyone died. This was just the end of the game at this point.
But why are you backing off here? And then why did everybody die?
Where I was originally getting back off to is that high ground in the background, just so I had a little more room.
I understand, yeah. But man, nade this, my friend, right? Like this is your cue to at least stop them from pushing as a result. Because see what actually kills you guys, it's not the Sombra. It's what the Sombra does, and then they push at the same time. Do you see that? This is what kills you. This is what we needed your anti-nade and damage for, right? And I don't think you had to drop off to do that. And if you were going to drop off, then just decisively get back to this position here. So I actually agree with your rotational decision there, but man, it hurts to give up that much space and just not do anything with it. So I find that like a lot of your cooldown errors, there's a lot of reasons why, I didn't nade there because of that, or I missed the nade because I was aiming for this, but like whenever that happens, you lose the fight. So root cause issue here is concern about dive threats when they're not a threat. Number one, okay? Maybe write that down mentally or literally physically. Number two, focusing a little too much on the bounce at the expense of just hitting the nade on the person. Okay? And then number three is forgetting the second cycle of the cooldown. So you get that initial nade, initial sleep, and then forget about it 15, 20 seconds later. You kind of follow me?
Yeah.
So when you're making mistakes around the cooldowns, I don't want to say practice your cooldown usage because that's vague and useless. Those are the three manifestations of when cooldowns go poorly. It's one of those three things usually, would be my guess. Make sense?
Makes sense.
And you can practice those, right? So you go in, I want to work on my nades. Let's see if they have a dive character. Oh, no dive character. So let's make sure I don't focus on bounce. I just focus on hitting the nade, right? Oh, they're on dive character. So I'm not going to worry as much about the bounce stuff. I'm going to worry just about making sure I track the person and then decide how to use anti-nade. That's a good skill. You just practice that the whole game. Works for me. Make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what that Sombra
I don't know. Wait. Just throat punch, man. Like, just no mercy whatsoever. Okay. So this is a really awkward spot to be. I don't hate your position here. You got cover here. You can heal. You could peek this angle here. And I love that you're, you know what I really love about you? I love that you're always like you're never like tunneled in one direction. You're always like, okay, I bet they're going to come from the left. I bet they're going to come from the right. And as annoyed as it was about you jumping off and not using your nade, I love the fact that you were aware of the Sombra and you're like kind of tracking her movement, right? That's really good. This is probably not necessary because you can just angle from here. You don't have to flank. I love that you're hearing the voices there, but it's just probably not necessary. And then obviously the nano is there, right? Like you were looking for the nano there.
Yeah.
It just was a little bit late because you went for an angle. And you don't have to when this alone provides you the vision that you need. You kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you do want to do this, you got to commit. You got to commit, right? Like it's okay. You can nano bastion and flank. It's okay. And then certainly nade that. Like you could kill right through that trance, but no. Now I think you guys might be cooked.
I tried. I missed that one shot.
That's so close. Honestly, I'm trying to think what actually killed you. Did she hit the hack on you? Yeah, that's what killed you. She hit the hack, yeah. Because remember, the hack virus, the virus is whatever, but she gets the damage boost in the hack as well, so it's like, ugh. It was really close. It was really close. Yeah, it was really close.
I missed 2 crucial shots of that. Granted, it shouldn't have been that close to begin with. But...
I mean, I don't know. Like, it was okay. Like, she hit the hack, she hit the virus, and then she hit her shots. Like, I mean, as brain dead as she looked earlier, this was, like, pretty well done mechanically from her. So, like, it's all right. It's all right. The main thing to focus on is, like, what happened earlier in the fight that put you in such the back foot, which was, you know, trying to force a flank when you already had a really good sight line. And that's the main thing here. Okay. Well... We're done here, so I don't know if you have another replay code here or not. I know you said you haven't played in a while. You wouldn't happen to, would you? Okay, so you have 2?
Yes.
Okay,
the second one's a lot shorter, and it's honestly, I think this one's going to be the more sillier of the 2.
Okay.
The second game, I don't even know what the hell happened at some point.
Sure.
I got...
If it, you know, obviously there's like a certain margin of error here where like you're just going to do really brain dead crap because you haven't played in a while. So I don't really care about that stuff as much.
I wouldn't even say it was necessarily in my case of doing something brain dead. It was just kind of watching everything around me happening. And I was like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
I see what you're saying. I mean, that also happens as well. So just like total chaos. Esperanza. Oh, 6 minutes. Yeah, that's okay. That last one wasn't much longer than actually. Okay, let's take a look here. No questions so far.
Nope, you explained. Like I said, I was more looking for just like a second view on things. Sure. There's only so much I can coach myself on without inherently knowing what the fuck I'm doing wrong.
Yeah. So the key things for me are like the number 1 would be the sense. The number 2 would be the nade, and the 3 reasons why you screw up your nade. Not tracking a position of dive threats, focusing too much on the bounce. What was the 3rd? Why did my brain... Oh, focusing more on a spot and less on a specific person, I think. Yeah. Oh, no, it was the second cycle. You forget the second time that you had opportunity to use nade, right? So again, that's kind of what I want to see cleaned up. Beyond that, I think... You could argue that you forget sleep dart sometimes. You get a little bit sloppy with cover sometimes. Those are things you can always do better. But we'll make a short list at the end here. Okay.
That's good.
Esperanza, pretty good on a map. Decent sightlines, decent cover. You don't have a 5th player, which is fun.
They're coming with a soldier.
Okay, yeah, that's fine then. Let's get a good sightline here. Start to damage, start to heal, start to nade. And I can tell you're like, do I want to help my Hanzo or not? Again, yes, you can, but you have to commit. Like, you either commit to this angle here and then play your game here, or you commit to your instincts and play here. This is fine. Just commit. But yeah, I like this position. This is good. Nice little sightline here. If you see an opportunity to nade, you can go for it. Like right there, you see that like little lane here. Whoosh.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, right? Yeah, chuck it.
I don't think I'd throw a lot of deep nades, so I should probably be willing to do that more.
You should. I'm predicting that that's because you don't trust your mechanics here, and I think that's a problem. You need to trust your mechanics. If you whiff it, that's fine. Do it again, and keep doing it until you can actually hit it, right? Because it's not like this is a stupid play. You have to hit the anti-nade here. The fight is happening a million miles away, so guess what, buddy? You got to, Nolan Ryan it, so like you got to get that son of a gun down there, right? So the damage is good, the shots are good, so your Winston doesn't die in vain, so that's nice. But
I think this is more the game where I just did not use a lot of cooldowns.
Sure. And as always, we'll try to like look at it and like guess why. Like that nade was good, you just missed it. So we'll try to find out why you didn't use cooldowns. Excuse me. Okay. Good sleep
That
guard.
one I
Just yeah, whiffed. Just a little bit panicky, and then obviously with your sensitivity, any sort of panic is just like multiplied. So
yeah.
this is good here. A little bit of damage, a little healing. I like the adjustment to shooting the soldier. Again, sensitivity. And I will say sensitivity, and also you were doing a little bit of strafing here as well. So I don't want to overwhelm you with things, but worth noting that look at how you strafe here.
Yeah.
You see that? So you actually were throwing off your own shots. So, it's not that you should be standing still, but if you get a chance to, it's fine. But we won't sweat that one too much. This is good. I really like this rotation from you. Beautiful healing and damage. Good angle for nade if you see an opportunity to. Good. Yeah, I mean, this is a boring game so far, and especially from you cooldown wise, but in terms of like the sightlines that you're taking, and then the targets that you're shooting, both enemies and friendlies, really good so far. Like, this is such a beautiful vantage point to start from. And then what I would do now is when you get the opportunity to, especially, I mean, I like the intention there. The placement's really bad. You saw him strafe left, and you threw the nade here instead of here. Right? Yeah. Would that have hit? I don't know, but at least it would have shown that you were paying attention. And then you rotate. This is fine. Winston dies. It's fine. Bunch of missed shots, but the idea was there. A little spooky with the proximity. It's fine. Okay, let's keep going here.
Like at that point, I was slowed. I was like, well, if I'm gonna die, I might as well try to take him with me.
Yeah. It was a really awkward rotation. Let's make you sweat a little bit here. Let's go back to that fight. You tell me how you should have rotated, because I get it. There's a lot of pressure, which made the rotation bad. But if you had the opportunity of kind of looking at this fight and like, let's slow it down to 0.25. So you're gonna drop here, and we're gonna slow it down. All right, where's the next step in this rotation? You're healing Moira.
My original intention was actually to try to get up to that high ground behind my team over there.
But that's never going to happen right now, right?
Once that ultimate came out, I actually didn't know where to go. I probably should have just backed up to under the bridge, if anything. Like here.
This would have been okay, actually. Yeah. When in doubt, though, just hug the wall. So kind of what you're doing here is honestly okay. But the problem is that as this fight gets a little bit more chaotic, you see you're splitting further and further away from that cover, right?
Yeah.
It's with the intention of backing up, but cover's better than proximity. So, right. So, and then as this fight devolves, you notice that in your frustration, panic, whatever, missing shots, you start to press forward.
Yeah.
Where simply holding the corner around the robot would have been fine. And then ironically, you push forward, and then you're like, all right, well, I'm full in now, right? Which, as you said, you hit the nade. But yeah, it's just basically find the corner when in doubt. Like, even if the position isn't great, find the corner. And if you have the time to think things through, then yeah, I really think this position would have been very passive, but would have been fine. You could have also flanked here, but crucially, when you had the opportunity to do so, you didn't have anti-nade, which I don't like, right? We saw that earlier in the Hollywood game, right? Where you flanked without nade and it just was ugly, right? That's kind of like the same thing here. So yeah, okay. I will say, once again, when you're given time to kind of like think things through, this is like the GM position, right? Like this is the pro angle, right? Like you're taking really good starting positions when you have time to think. So it's a huge strength of yours. So well done. Like there's just so much vision that you have here, so much lethality of like full vision of flanks. Okay.
I did not drop down. That was just by accident.
If it happens, it happens. Like at some point you'll need to walk forward here, but not just yet. So yeah, accident happens. Use the nano. Good patience with the nano because he's out. Good nade. Oh my days. Still winnable actually. Yeah, you can tell. Everything goes down the toilet the second that you fall. Your nano goes to crap. Your sleep is trash. You did hit the nade on the Ryan, but yeah, you're cooked.
I tried.
You know what? It happens. It happens. You coach yourself here. Let's pretend that you're in like La 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 Land and you didn't fall off on accident. Okay. I want you to tell me what you would have done here. All right, I'll play at 0.25. I want you to focus on nade and nano to start.
Originally, what I was planning to do is when they turned the corner, just chuck the nade because my Winston was just highly aggressive the
The
entire game.
lamb?
I was like,
Okay. What about Nano? So you nade the corner now. Now what? What about Nano?
once the Winston's about to jump, when I see him start the jump animation was when I was gonna nano him.
Sure, that's your mistake though. Don't just use it. You don't need
Just
to
use
wait
it
for him
then.
to, because let me ask you, is he in a position to do something with this Nano?
He is, yeah.
Yeah, he is. That's it.
Fair enough.
That's it. Don't wait for them to do the thing that you want them to do. Wait for them to take any sort of engagement at all and nano them.
Fair enough.
It's totally fine to do that, right? So you nade the corner, you nano the Winston, and then Reaper teleports on you. What do you do?
That's just a sleep, and honestly, I would try to walk away from that.
Sleep and or run, right? And just pray for the best. That's it. Yeah, it's fine. Yep. I mean, you might have actually died playing the correct way here because it would have been easier for the Reaper to get to you, but you actually would have won this fight comfortably. That's the weird dynamic here, where like it would have been easier for Reaper to deal with you, but you would have actually had so much more impact on this fight, and so it would have been a worthy death. So okay, it happens. We fall off the cliff, and we're gonna retake
I do that
here.
occasionally when I'm playing close on high ground.
It happens. It happens. Good stuff. Locking our perk. Good shots. Again, I love your awareness. It feels like anytime that you have a second, you're just like check, 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 check. I see you do that constantly. It's a really good habit to get into. So, well done. Sightline here is fine for right now. You could nano this as well just to keep the snowball going. Yep, sure. Totally fine. He's going to get a lot out of that. Ryan's going to die as a result. The nade was there. It's fine. And this is where positioning is really awkward. So just as soon as you can, find a good position, right? Where would you go here? Well, actually, I'm not going to even ask that question.
There is a point of time here. I don't know if you just saw me start spinning in circles. I heard someone behind me. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, I noticed that, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. Let me turn up the sound just a little bit loud. Just warning, it's gonna be a little bit loud here. Let me see if I can hear it.
The Eye of Horus watches over you.
I heard something behind me. I don't know what it was.
Take this. The Eye of Horus watches over you.
I feel like I heard.
It sounds like maybe the Moira. It sounds like there's it sounds like a Cassidy reload. Hang on.
What the hell was that? How did you get behind me?
The Eye of Horus watches.
Wait, hang on.
Take this. The Eye of Horus watches over you.
You know what it is? I think it's a storm arrow.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he pops storm arrow, and it sounds like a Cassidy reload.
Marked by the dragon.
And they're like, what the hell?
Yeah. It was a storm arrow. It's for whatever reason it sounds kind of like a Cassidy reload, and you know they're on Cassidy. This is crazy. This is how advanced your brain is. You probably didn't even think of like, oh, it's a Cassidy noise. You just knew it was a threat noise. So it did. For a second, I thought there was a bug, and I was like, no, it was a storm arrow. So yeah, and so then you're like, wait, Cassidy? Oh wait, no. Okay, yeah, that's funny.
And the funny thing is, I think at the time I thought it was Reaper, and then I saw Reaper there. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, that sucks.
Okay,
Again, this is like really aggressive, but you have nade, you have cover. I'm just so pleased with some of the little things that you're doing here. Like, you're probably gonna lose this fight, but like, you know what?
I don't die here, just so you're aware.
Hey, you know what? I believe you. These are silver players, and listen, you don't have to play. Look. I'm sorry. You just outplayed. You outplayed this team, right? Like, let's be honest. It wasn't perfect, right? But here's what you did well. Let's talk about what you did well. You didn't just stand in the middle of the open. You found cover off to the side. You put pressure out. You got the nade. The nade's good. The nade also bounces. You kill the Rhine. You back off as you get pushed. You don't panic. You're thinking deflect. You grab the Mega during his deflect animation. And then you just out-mechanic him. I mean, come on. You earned it, right? Are the individual details of this going to age well as you rank up if that happens? Not necessarily, but if you outplay Genji, you will win. You will win. Like, it's not like, oh, Genji just kills you. You shouldn't do that. No, you were clever. You used cover. You had your cooldown. You hit your shots. You didn't just hit your shots. You were patient, right? You were patient with your shots as well. So, yeah, look at that. Holy smokes. You're even factoring in respawns here as you're rotating away. This is good. Yeah, look at you. This is good. Yes, good. Grandma is like freaking 007 right now, you know?
I don't know how I got away with this.
But see, this is the thing, okay? Like, we can laugh about it now, but also, like, this is freaking good. Like, you're using your cooldowns wisely. You're being proactive and thoughtful, but you're also managing your risk. Like, you're not throwing your sleep dart out. You're rotating away from threats. You're finding cover. Yeah, good.
I tried.
Yeah, I mean, versus Ryan, honestly, like, I wouldn't try nade him unless he's distracted. And then we rotate back up to a good position. So, yeah. I mean, that's pretty nice stuff, I'm not gonna lie. That nade needed a hit. Son of a gun.
I just missed 4 tries. That happens.
Guess your Hanzo's HP.
My Hanzo, I think it's at like 10.
I think it's lower. I'm guessing 3. I'm the GOAT. Not really, honestly though, like the last 45 seconds have been such a masterclass for me though. Really nicely done. Good use of cover. All right, hit that nade, get that nade. Yeah, get it. Yeah, beautiful. Nano it as well. Do it up. Why not? Good try with the sleep. A little rush, but it was all right. Good nano. Oh, and you got the nano perk as well. Let's go. We break all the rules now.
In the earlier games, so I just like forget I'm gonna play with the double nano, even though I don't normally.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a freaking masterclass. So good job. Okay, so let's again be very clear about what was done well. Your initial positionings in terms of cover and sightlines are consistently good when you have time. This also translates well into Hollywood as well. You look for offensive cooldown value. You are good at managing your damage versus healing. And generally your nanos are good. What are things that need to be practiced if you are to play more, going back even to Hollywood? Let's actually write some of these things down. What comes to mind?
I think the biggest one is realizing when my cooldowns are back up and available to use.
Again, cycle of nade to use. Okay, what else?
Looking to hit my initial nade on somebody, don't really look for the splash. If it happens, it happens.
What else?
Sensitivity, which I have now changed. It is now sitting at 7.
Okay, what else?
That and being more mindful, try not to accidentally drift while I'm currently in the fight. I'd say that was the big one.
Yeah, I agree. That was the big one there with the positioning. I think in general, like when things started to get messy with positioning, it was mostly, as you said, that during the chaos, you would tend to drift away from cover. And I think that's like a really easy fix. Okay, let's put it this way. It's a really simple fix. It's going to take a lot of practice to do that and think about that mid-fight. But in general, I think like that's something that you can absolutely work on. Okay. That's all I have. We'll finish a few minutes short. So if you have any questions in the future, don't hesitate to DM me. As of now, though, do you have any questions? Do you have any things that maybe we didn't touch on or anything that came up that you can think of?
Nope, like I said, you explained things clearly.
Okay. All right, mate.
Well, thank you as a
Yeah, it was a pleasure. Nice job. Like I just again I want to clarify the nausea warning aside, it was you played sick if you get my drift. It was really, really good. It was really like the proactivity, your mindset about how you approach support is scales really well. This isn't like a gimmick that you're going to pull out that's not going to work if you ever commit to gold or plat. This is how support has to be played. The details of how you play your life and cover and so on, that can always be better, but the philosophy of what you're doing is correct and is really good. So keep up the good work.